Curious, as these teams start to take shape in 2023 and then 2024, like what was your leadership style in conjunction with a player like Caitlin, but also the rest of your teammates?
Yeah, I would say like definitely those first 2 years, we definitely were working together to like, I was definitely more of like the calmer presence and being like, hey, like look me in the eyes, you know, deep breath, like it's all gonna be okay. And I think like the leadership style that I really had was just like trust. Like she trusted me because she had seen me like putting in the work in the gym. She knew how much I cared. Like I would.
You saw the records fall, the crowds erupt, and the player who became a global sensation. But what if the true power behind Iowa's unprecedented dynasty wasn't in the scoring column, but quietly holding everything together, anchoring the chaos? This is the untold story of Kate Martin, the quiet leader, the relentless engine, the unsung architect whose grit and unseen genius made greatness possible. Her journey is packed with shocking impact, crucial untold moments, and an unexpected path to the pros. Prepare to uncover why the Hawkeyes' historic success rested on her shoulders and why her name should be synonymous with their rise.
Wrap your head around 139 games. Like that seems like a ton of games. And lucky enough, we've had postseasons where we've got a lot of extra games, whether it's been the Big Ten tournament, whether it's been the NCAA tournament. We've been able to have some long seasons, and that's something I'm really thankful for. And to be honest, like I don't think I have the type of career if I don't have a teammate like Kate. She's been one that has had my back. You know, she holds me accountable. I hold her accountable. But I think at the same time, like me and Kate are wired so similarly that like we get each other on a different level. She's so competitive. You know, her dad was a football coach growing up.
The roar of the crowd always followed Caitlin Clark like a second shadow, a constant, deafening symphony that echoed through every arena. But inside the Iowa Hawkeyes' locker room, on the practice court, and in the frenetic heat of national competition, a different kind of intensity hummed. A focused, unyielding hum emanating from Kate Martin. While Clark effortlessly rewrote record books with her audacious logo threes and gravity-defying drives, Martin was relentlessly engaged in the unseen, utterly indispensable work that fortified the team's very foundation. She was the relentless defensive anchor, setting screens with bone-rattling force that sprung Clark free, boxing out with a ferocity that secured critical possessions against opponents twice her size, and diving for loose balls with a reckless abandon that electrified her teammates.
For this, because you were the first person who I felt like said, yeah, Kate Martin's a pro. Like draft Kate Martin, she's gonna be able to do different things. I think you started saying that you're either sophomore or junior year. And, you know, media members aside, I'm not, you know, maybe it's me, maybe it's not me, not gonna throw myself under the bus here. We were like, you know what? I think she could be a fringe WNBA player. She has potential, but, you know, Caitlin's giving her endorsement. If there's one thing I've learned about you in covering you for 4 or 5 years or whatever, how long it's been, when you talk ball, you genuinely talk basketball. Like there's no personal relationship attached. So I guess, how do you feel about Kate doing really well and unrivaled so far? And now she's getting a chance at the Valkyrie to really make a statement next year too.
She didn't seek the spotlight. In a profound way, she was the spotlight for every gritty, dirty play, every crucial rebound wrestled away from a bigger foe, every perfectly timed pass that unfurled Clark's brilliance. This was a partnership forged in the searing furnace of relentless competition, a synergy so profound, so deeply intuitive that it went far deeper than anyone outside their immediate circle could possibly grasp. It was the blueprint for a dynasty, built on trust, grit, and the relentless pursuit of excellence, brick by unheralded brick.
So Caitlin Clark revealed her squad goals, sort of. This is a play on words, a pun, if you will, just having a little fun with Caitlin Clark's latest interview. She did an appearance with, I believe his name pronunciation is David Eichel of Swarmcast 24/7 Sports. I will link the full piece in the description.
What truly transpired behind the scenes between the most talked about player in all of college basketball and her unyielding confidant, the teammate she openly called her rock. Caitlin Clark herself has gone on record revealing the profound depth of their connection. Kate Martin was the calm in the eye of the hurricane, the unwavering anchor amidst a whirlwind of unprecedented hype and media scrutiny. Their bond transcended mere friendship. It was a rare, almost telepathic synergy built on absolute trust, mutual accountability, intensity, and a shared, almost obsessive drive for victory, while Clark faced the isolating glare of unprecedented celebrity and the constant burden of expectation. Martin was the steady hand, the clear, unshakable voice cutting through the suffocating noise.
Real quick, what did you notice about Caitlin's like work ethic?
Yeah.
Was there anything that stood out?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she was in the gym constantly.
Yeah.
And it was like the way she approached everything too was like, it was like with a sort of excellence. It wasn't like, oh, I'm just gonna go through the motions and like whatever. It was like, no, like I'm here to kick your butt in every single drill, every single practice, like, and especially whenever our like gray squad guys were playing against us, it was like, if you're across from me, you're my enemy, you know? Right. And like, I think that's just kind of how you have to approach things to get better. And she had that, you know, next level mindset, and it really just raised us all up with her.
Yeah, I feel like
she was the one who could tell Clark to take a deep breath before a critical free throw, the one who knew precisely when a perfectly timed joke was needed to break a suffocating tension in the huddle, or when a stern, direct word would sharpen focus during a crucial timeout. This wasn't just a teammate, it was the psychological linchpin of a national phenomenon, the silent leader who ensured that the team's emotional thermostat remained perfectly calibrated, no matter the stakes, no matter the pressure, no matter the seemingly insurmountable challenge. Their shared understanding of the game and of each other was arguably the most potent weapon in Iowa's arsenal, an unspoken language that resonated through every clutch play.
The workout or training video, I've discussed how Caitlin Clark is going to have time to work on her game that she otherwise hasn't had before. She went straight from college to the pros, grueling schedule to start the WNBA season. It's a scary thought for the rest of the league. I've articulated that on many occasions, but she said it herself too, which of course adds fuel to that. And then the other was Unrivaled and Kate Martin's performance at Unrivaled. Kate Martin has looked great thus far at Unrivaled. Obviously, Kate and Caitlin have a bit of a relationship.
The public saw fireworks and record-breaking performances, but they often missed the true strategists at work during Iowa's most seismic NCAA tournament battles, the ones behind the scenes orchestrating the unseen victories. Remember those epic high-stakes showdowns against powerhouses like LSU and the undefeated South Carolina? While Clark delivered her historic double 41-point performances, setting the basketball world ablaze, Kate Martin was the quiet, relentless disruptor, operating like a seasoned tactician with an almost supernatural foresight. Against LSU, she was a defensive marvel, making defensive reads like she had an advanced copy of the opposing team's playbook, closing out on shooters with suffocating precision and hitting timely momentum-killing shots that deflated the Tigers' runs. She didn't just guard, she disrupted.
Y'all, I think teammate relationships are like some of the most special and unique relationships you can have. This is Caitlin Clark, this is Kate Martin. They both played at Iowa, and tonight they'll play for the first time in the WNBA. And this is the moment that they see each other for the first time on the court. Like I said, the teammate relationship is already so special, but you can just imagine in Caitlin Clark's position, where she's already admitted it's quite isolating being this popular at this point, so much so that she doesn't really go out very much. Not to mention there's been so much criticism online, not by the players, but simply the territory that comes with being a popular woman in the women's.
Then came the ultimate test, the undefeated Goliath, South Carolina. In that monumental clash, Martin was crashing the glass with a furious, almost violent intensity, staying glued to elite defenders like Velcro with a college degree, and making passes that kept the offense flowing like a caffeinated river, even against one of the most stifling defenses in history. Any true Iowa fan, any coach who truly understands the game, will tell you unequivocally, Martin ensured the train never derailed. She was the one calling out defensive switches through tired lungs, calming down the bench with a simple glance, offering a quick, reassuring shoulder squeeze when a teammate looked overwhelmed, and casually drilling a corner three like she was just saving an offensive possession. Her impact was immeasurable, a series of crucial, unglamorous plays that paved the way for glory. Yet after all that hard-fought glory, an even bigger surprise, a twist of fate awaited.
Look great at Unrivaled thus far. There's no question about that. And it's funny that Caitlin emphasized exactly what Kate had said about playing free. Those were the words Kate Martin used when she talked about her unrivaled excellence. So it's fascinating to see it echoed. I don't know if that's because they talked or just they think alike. Obviously, they play alike in the way that they understand where to be on the floor together. They had so much success together And I think a lot of people are excited about the possibility of what Kate Martin can do with the Valkyries, Caitlin Clark included, despite her saying she wants to recruit her and team up again.
What truly happens when fate, in its unpredictable wisdom, steps in on a night no one saw coming, transforming a simple, supportive gesture into a life-altering, utterly astonishing moment? The WNBA draft was, by all accounts, supposed to be Caitlin Clark's singular coronation, her undeniable moment in the global spotlight. And Kate Martin was there, not as a prospect, but simply to cheer on her best friend, to witness history, perhaps to snag a celebratory soda. She wasn't widely projected to be drafted, had zero expectations of hearing her name called, and was mentally preparing for whatever came next. A career overseas, a coaching role, anything but the WNBA.
In her last game, Kate Martin had one of the best games in her WNBA career. She went off for 14 points in limited minutes, but let's watch some of these highlights because I feel like she finally found her groove. She was playing in the flow of the offense. As you can see here, she goes for a fast break. She beats her player off the dribble, goes left. And a lot of fans were saying, like, this looks like the OG Kate Martin, the Iowa Kate Martin. She is finally, finding her rhythm and getting involved, and she has a much bigger role on this.
The shock wave. The commissioner stepped to the podium and the words echoed through the room. With the 18th pick in the WNBA draft, the Las Vegas Aces select Kate Martin. In a moment that felt pulled straight from a Hollywood script, the unsung hero, the ultimate teammate, was walking across the stage. Literally in heels she hadn't expected to walk in, shaking the commissioner's hand with a look that screamed, "Wait, me? Is this real?" It was the most wholesome, unexpected, and profoundly deserved plot twist in recent WNBA history. A testament to the unshakable truth that hard work, relentless grit, and genuine selfless dedication can redefine any narrative, transforming an overlooked talent into a professional force. It was a victory for every player who ever put in the hours when no one was watching, a moment that proved some dreams aren't just chased, they're unexpectedly chosen.
I would say so. Like, I just remember you have that summer before, and she was doing things that I had never seen anybody do before. And as a freshman, to come in and have that kind of confidence, like, not everybody has that. Like, I was like, oh, I haven't really seen anything like this. And so we knew she was going to be outstanding. And then, at the beginning of the year, we had some big wins, and there was highs and lows that year for sure. But, it took us a little bit to figure it out. But, it obviously turned out better than I could have ever expected or thought.
From an unforeseen draft pick to the undeniable future of a burgeoning franchise, Kate Martin's remarkable journey led her straight to the heart of elite professional basketball. After a strong showing with the Las Vegas Aces, where she immediately impressed coaches and teammates alike with her unwavering professionalism and readiness, her draft rights found their poetic and almost faded home with the Golden State Valkyries, a franchise being meticulously built on principles of intelligent movement, high basketball IQ, split-second decision-making, and disciplined execution. Could there possibly be a more perfect landing spot for a player who embodies hustle, acute court awareness, and an almost instinctual understanding of the game? She cuts through defenses like a hot knife through butter, hitting corner threes with a quiet confidence as if they personally offended her, and setting screens with the kind of fundamental force that feels like it's paid per bruise.
And she works so hard. Like, Kate's still somebody I talk to every single day, and I think just watching her believe in herself from probably my junior year when she was a senior and trying to decide if she was going to even come back and take her 6th year to where she's at now, and seeing her belief and her confidence and herself grow as much as it has, it just makes me really happy because I've always seen that in her. It was just getting her to believe, like, I am this really good player. I can grow into becoming this really good player. And she's always had the leadership skills. She's always been the type of person that, whether she's going to get in the game, whether she's going to play 10 minutes, whether she's going to play 30 minutes, she's going to give you every ounce of herself. She's going to cheer as hard on the bench. She's going to play as hard.
The Valkyries didn't just acquire a basketball player. They secured a living algorithm of efficiency and grit, a player whose skill set seamlessly integrates into a system that values intelligence and cohesion as much, if not more, than raw athleticism. Her Midwestern grit and corn-fed tenacity scream a philosophy. I boxed out for 14 years before I ever took a shot. She's not just adapting to the pro game, she's thriving within it, proving that some players are simply destined for greatness, even if the path to that destiny was entirely unexpected, a true testament to finding the perfect fit.
You obviously have a player like Caitlin who's on the team. I have to ask, when did you first hear about her, and then what were your first impressions of her when she got to campus?
Yeah, she had come on a couple visits, and she was like a big name in Iowa, so I had heard about her. I wasn't from Iowa, so I didn't know as much, and that like all Iowa attack AAU program is like so big, and I had I'd never heard of it.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh, whatever, but it's like a big thing in Iowa. And so I had heard about this Caitlin Clark, and I was like watching videos of her just like having like 40 points, like averaging 1 million in high school.
But her profound influence extends far beyond the stat sheet, beyond the realm of points, rebounds, and assists. What truly makes Kate Martin a culture builder, a generational leader, and not just another player, is her unquantifiable impact on every single person around her. She didn't merely play on the Iowa team, she was the living embodiment of team, the walking definition of selflessness. She's the rare kind of player who steps into any gym, any locker room, and instantly makes everyone better, elevating the collective standard of play and professionalism. Need a crucial defensive stop. Kate's already in her stance, barking out instructions, her eyes fixed on the opponent. Need a critical bucket. She's expertly spacing the floor, making a perfectly timed cut when you least expect it, and draining open looks like she's simply cashing checks. Need authentic leadership, the kind that resonates deep within a team? She's had that since Iowa ran on corn and courage. Rookies gravitate towards her like she's handing out cheat codes for success. And seasoned veterans immediately appreciate her unwavering professionalism, her relentless work ethic, and her unyielding commitment to the often overlooked fundamentals of the game. She's won over coaches like Becky Hammon in mere seconds, not with flashy plays, but by doing the little things, the essential things that make big things possible. Her genuine nature, her magnetic personality is so utterly compelling, so universally likable that even opposing fans find themselves grudgingly admitting, she's so likable it's ruining my trash talk. She brings an undeniable main character energy, yet in the least egotistical way possible, always preferring to uplift others, to pass the torch, while quietly dominating in her own understated yet undeniably powerful way. She is the epitome of the player every team needs, the one who truly binds a roster together. Kate Martin's story isn't just about basketball. It's a profound, inspiring blueprint for navigating life itself. It's the compelling narrative of the quiet warrior who, despite being consistently overshadowed by blinding brilliance, became not just indispensable, but utterly irreplaceable. It's the journey of the player who, by all conventional metrics, wasn't supposed to go pro, but simply worked too hard, too relentlessly, too passionately, not to be noticed, not to be chosen. She didn't need flashy mixtapes, multi-million dollar NIL deals, or viral social media clips to capture attention. She simply needed a chance, an opportunity to unleash her unwavering dedication. And now that she has it, she's making every single minute matter, leaving an indelible mark on the professional stage. Her success resonates deeply and feels personal to her growing legions of supporters, like watching your best friend achieve an unimaginable promotion and then casually become the CEO. Caitlin Clark may have dropped 41 points and melted every bracket from here to Mars with her scoring prowess, but Kate Martin was the unyielding force that helped build that run, that stabilized it, that fueled it with her tireless effort, and that brought the intangible excellence that truly makes legends possible. She embodies humility, unwavering tenacity, and that subtle, almost sneaky ability to laugh with pure joy when a ref calls a charge that was definitely not a charge. Her journey is a masterclass in what happens when you perfectly mix meticulous preparation with serendipitous fate, when relentless hard work meets an undeniable heart, and then you throw in just a little extra sparkle to make it truly special. She's still the exact same Kate who set screens like a veteran linebacker, who hit crucial free throws under immense pressure as if she were simply microwaving popcorn, and who made even the most chaotic broken offensive possessions end with a decent, often game-changing look. The Golden State Valkyries are not just just lucky to have her, they are profoundly blessed. So, as we reflect on this remarkable journey, what truly defines a champion? Is it solely the visible highlights, the dazzling statistics, or is it the unseen, relentless effort, the profound impact, and the unwavering spirit that make those highlights even possible? Kate Martin's extraordinary story forces us to fundamentally reconsider the very definition of greatness, revealing that sometimes the most impactful legacies are etched not in bold headlines, but in the heart of every single game, every grueling practice, and in the profound, often quiet influence on every single teammate she touched. What do you believe was Kate Martin's single most underrated contribution to Iowa's unforgettable success? Share your thoughts and insights in the comments below.